Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and welcome to this week's episode of Dear Nero, which of course is the weekly series here on my channel where subscribers send me in fan mail and or fan questions, and I do my best to go ahead and answer it. Turns out I didn't post it on Wednesday. Yesterday was Wednesday. Dear Nero goes up every Wednesday, but yesterday just was not going to work out. Some things at the house are going on involving plumbing and sewage in a basement and plumbers. I'm going to let you connect all the dots there as to what was happening yesterday. So it wasn't really the ideal situation to be recording in. I don't record in the basement, but there's people here trying to get that all resolved. And it was just a whole ordeal. The gameplay we got today is going to be some Call of Duty Ghost. Now this gameplay, the first gameplay we're going to be sharing with you guys today, just was recorded this morning. So it's kind of fresh in my memory. This game, man, it bothers me how much explosives can take over Call of Duty Ghosts if you're facing a team of people that want to exploit explosions. I'm using Blast Shield, you'll be seeing that throughout the video, but the amount of IED and C4 and IMS and everything else that just comes my way this game is ridiculous. But yeah, running around with the Ripper, playing the objective relentlessly, doing my best to try and win, play by myself. I hope you guys all enjoy that, as well as the rest of the gameplay for this week's episode of Dear Nero. Now that's all out of the way, let's hop into the first question. He's going to write, Dear Nero, why is it that some players, usually snipers, constantly press triangle triangle, or YY on Xbox, when they're not in a gunfight? I've heard before that improves your accuracy if you shoot right after you do it, which is why quickscopers like to do it, but I know that theory has been disproven. If anything, I feel as though it would make you play worse because you have to take your thumb off the joystick. So why do players do this? Josh from North Carolina. So Josh, you don't see me do it in Call of Duty Ghost. You don't see me do it like in this gameplay or probably any of the gameplays unless I decide to include some COD 4 stuff. But if you've been paying attention to the gameplay of the recent Call of Duty 4 videos I've been posting, YYing, or I guess some might call it triangling, in older games, Call of Duty 4, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, I think Modern Warfare 3 is when they stopped it. I think I'm right about that. YYing is one of the things that people can do. There's actually a bunch of things you can do when you YY or triangle. I'm going to call it YY because I play on the Xbox. So when you YY, you can use that to reload cancel, which is pretty nice. Instead of going through the full animation of a reload, which can take, I'm going to make up a number 3 seconds, you can do the reload cancel. As soon as you see the bullets, appear on your screen, you can YY to cancel the rest of the reload animation and save yourself a second or two or a couple milliseconds or something, and that can help you out with that. One of the reasons I do it a lot, and you'll see it, like I said, in all my Call of Duty 4 videos, I'm constantly YYing all the time, is it's something that I've learned over the years that kind of helps keep your fingers loose. Now, it may sound weird, but it's something I picked up by watching Beyond's videos back in the day. If you guys are an old school Call of Duty fan, you guys are old school YouTube fans, you guys might remember Beyond. He was really popular during Call of Duty 4's back in 2007, 2008. He was a really good YouTuber, but he kind of stopped doing YouTube. But yeah, he would always do that. Another thing he would always do is he would always kind of randomly twitch around. Like he would use the right stick, and he would randomly just almost like what is the word here? Almost like a tick almost. I'm trying to think of the word. I can't think of the word. Someone's going to write the comments. He's going to write the answer to the word I'm thinking of in the comments, so I can't think of it. Basically, almost like Tourette's. That's the word I'm looking for. He kind of just shake randomly. And it's not because he had Tourette's, it's because he would do it to keep his fingers loose, and I would do the same thing by, YYing pretty often. And so people do that. They kind of keep their fingers loose. They can, constantly be moving around and stuff. Because you see me, in my gameplays, you see me jumping around, or you see me dropping, or you see me knifing, or you see me doing all the things I'm doing. Part of that is my fingers are always really loose, and, I'm able to, do all that stuff easily. So that was a really long answer to what should have been a short answer. But yeah, people do it, 1, for reload canceling, and 2, to keep their fingers loose. It definitely can help you play a bit better. So maybe that's a quick tip for some of you guys that maybe didn't know it before. But it doesn't really work in Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 3 or Call of Duty Ghost because they kind of took out that feature because they're like, well, I see that this is a skill-based thing, and there's one thing we don't want in Call of Duty, it's skill-based things, okay? Now, if you can reload cancel and you're got the timing and the reflexes to reload cancel like that, that would put the bad player at a disadvantage. So we have to get rid of that completely because we're the new Call of Duty. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, I was wondering what is the most trouble you've ever gotten into in school, because yesterday I got suspended for a week for utter bullshit. Aaron from Kildare, Ireland. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Kildare, Kildare, I don't know, Ireland. So Aaron, most trouble I've ever gotten into at school. I told you guys I've been suspended a couple of times for like maybe showing up at school late or random stupid things. But the most trouble I've ever gotten into school was one day they had the police at the school. Now, I'm not even sure why. Maybe there was a bomb threat or something. But they had the police at the school, and instead of just walking in the front doors like we usually would, they had it so we had to walk through the gymnasium doors. And like inside the gym, there was like metal detectors and tons of cops and everything, and they're like doing like a full search of everybody as they entered the school. And I don't know why. Once again, maybe there was a report that someone was trying to bring a bomb that day or something. There's bomb threats all the time at my high school, but never an actual bomb. But I was a smoker. I used to be a smoker. You guys probably know that. It's been, when did I quit smoking last year? Was it June or was it July? I might be coming up on a year of being smoke free. That's pretty sweet. But I used to smoke cigarettes, especially during high school. And I remember specifically the night before I had no cigarettes, and it sucked because if you're smoking, you don't have cigarettes and you don't have that nicotine. It's like it messes with your head and it's just not enjoyable. I remember like the night before, I'm like, I have no cigarettes and this sucks. And I go to school the next day and they're doing that search of everybody. And I put my backpack up there, and they go through my backpack, and they find a pack of cigarettes in my backpack with one cigarette left in it. And I was like, no, because, of course, I'm underage. I brought that's, the zero tolerance policy, having tobacco on school grounds. It was a $500 fine. I don't think I got suspended, but I did get a $500 fine. And I think they add an extra $100 for every cigarette that's in there. So, like, having the pack on you with, like, tobacco, little bits of tobacco in the bottom of it, that's like a $500 fine in its own right. And then they add like an extra $100 for every extra cigarette or something in there, something like that, somewhere close to that. Probably not accurate numbers, but close enough. It was ridiculous, like the fine that you can get for that. And that was definitely the most trouble I ever got into. My mom was not very happy. Of course, got grounded, and yeah, that was the most trouble I ever got into at school. If you're a smoker, stop. That's not cool. Any kind of tobacco use is not cool. But definitely make sure you don't take it to school with you, because you can get in a lot of trouble with a very big fine. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, I watched your Borderlands 2 gameplay on your Let's Play channel, and if I'm not mistaken, you said that you played the first game too. So out of both Borderlands, what weapon company do you like the most? Keep up the great work. Nick from Los Angeles. So Nick, I would say my favorite weapon manufacturer would be Malawan. I love the way Jacobs looks. I love the way they look, but Malawan's just better, especially in Borderlands 2. Like in Borderlands 2, especially like at the higher levels, Jacobs guns just for me seem to do nothing, whereas Malawan guns have all of that elemental damage and they're just really good. And during Borderlands 1, it seems like everything's good in Borderlands 1, right? There's like no real bad weapon manufacturer in that game. Jacobs guns were very good, especially for snipers, but so were all the other snipers. And Malawan, of course, is just good in both games because of tons of elemental damage. So I would say Malawan's my favorite weapons manufacturer in the Borderlands series. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, I'm considering buying the Elder Scrolls Online. I'm a huge Skyrim fan. I really want to play Elder Scrolls Online. I know that you play this game a lot, so I was wondering, is it worth buying? Riley from Canada. So Riley, first of all, welcome back, legendary Riley from Canada. If you're a longtime fan of the show Dear Nero, then you know Riley from Canada. Elder Scrolls Online. It's a very fun game. It's an amazing game. It's super fun. If you like Skyrim, you will like the Elder Scrolls Online. It has gotten kind of a bad rap, and I've mentioned this before. I feel as though most of the people that say, oh no, Elder Scrolls Online sucks, those people are just the kind of people that have been playing World of Warcraft for 10 years, got burnt out on MMOs, and just don't like the idea of an MMO anymore, therefore won't really give a positive review of it. The game itself is really captivating. It's got the same kind of feel. It's got like a Skyrim feel. It's got a really long, really progressive story. Lots of side missions. So many side missions you won't even know what to do with yourself. And the map itself, like the map is the entire continent. I don't know, the entire thing of Tamriel, right? That's the entire map. And so depending on what faction you join, be it the Aldmeri Dominion, the Ebon Heart Pact, or the Daggerfall Covenant, you're only given access to certain ones. So I went with the Aldmeri Dominion because I like Wood Elves. The Aldmeri Dominion is Wood Elves, High Elves, and Khajiit. And so I wanted to start with Wood Elf, now I'm playing as Khajiit because Khajiits are cool too. And so we have access to 5 different areas in like the southwest area of the map. And Daggerfall Covenant is on the northwest of the map. And the Ebonheart Pact is on the northeast of the map, like in that area. And apparently, I haven't gotten there yet. Apparently, like once you get towards like the end of the campaign, like the end of the actual story mode of this MMO, you're actually allowed to go and head over to their different areas and, you know, do quests and see the entire world for itself. They're constantly adding new things. A lot of people are like, oh no, it's $15 a month. I don't know how to do that. If you worry about $15 a month for an MMO game, then welcome to MMOs. They're all like that. I think the problem of it is like a lot of people are like, oh no, I play Call of Duty, but I also kind of like Skyrim. Now I want to play the new Elder Scrolls game. Wait, $15 a month? That doesn't make sense. They don't make me do that for Call of Duty. It's a really popular business model in most MMO games. Not all, but most MMO games to have a subscription, monthly subscription-based fee. That's just kind of how it goes. And the reason they do that is because they constantly add new things. Right now they add a whole new area. I think it's called Craglorn or something similar to that. I haven't been able to play there yet because I'm not level 50, and apparently if you're not level 50, you're gonna have a bad time if you head there. But it's filled with raids and tons of big monsters and a bunch of new dungeons and stuff. It's supposed to be a whole new area, and it's a giant area, and it's kind of cool. And like a whole 12-man raiding party system. It sounds like a really cool area. I can't wait to get there. Yeah, they constantly add new things like that. That's the whole point of an MMO. If you like Skyrim, it's basically Skyrim with hundreds of thousands of other people. You know, you find something cool, but you may not need it. You can talk in the chat to people, and you can sell it with them. I went and just the other night, I had no friends online, and I'm like, who wants to go do this dungeon? And I end up getting 3 people that I've never met before, and we went, you know, I was the tank, I ran up and tanked, and we had like a couple, like 2 sorcerers, and we also had a Templar who's like standing in the back playing healer, basically. And, you know, I'm sitting there taking all the damage, and they're sitting there trying to focus on DPS with their sorcery, and then we got the healer trying to constantly heal us while we're taking out these big monsters and stuff. It's really fun. So it's basically Skyrim plus more. It's amazing. That's a really long answer, but I'm telling you guys, I'm really passionate, honestly, about the Elder Scrolls Online. It is such a fun game. It has consumed my life over the past week and a half, 2 weeks, somewhere in there. I really, really love that game. So much fun. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, do you think a Sledgehammer will bring a new game mode similar to Extinction in Nazi Zombies? If so, what do you think it will be? Have a wonderful day, Jamie from Ireland. So, Jamie, I definitely think Sledgehammer's going to have a third game. Call of Duty 4, believe it or not, was the last Call of Duty game that didn't have an extra game mode. In Modern Warfare 2, they brought in Spec Ops, and then after that, in Black Ops, they brought in Zombies. Actually, no. There's Call of Duty 4 had nothing. The World War had Zombies. Then Modern Warfare 2 had Spec Ops. Then Black Ops expanded on Zombies. Then Modern Warfare 3 had Spec Ops, and you know, so on and so forth. Every game has an extra game mode to it. The idea of like a co-op game within Call of Duty is something that Call of Duty developers are really starting to work a lot more towards, especially, you know, now that Call of Duty Ghosts are really starting to work on Extinction. You can probably expect Extinction to be the new Zombies, and that Infinity Ward is going to make a new one every year. So that's kind of a cool thing. If they're doing that, what will Sledgehammer do? I have no idea. I really have no idea. Worst case scenario, I think they might just go with a generic Spec Ops style thing. But here's something I think that they should do. So we've seen all these different kind of armored people, right, within the trailers for Advanced Warfare. Why not make a Titanfall style-esque co-op game mode, kind of like a Horde game mode, but you have like Titan suits and things of that nature? I'm just thinking out loud here. I think that'd be kind of a neat idea. It's something they could definitely do. Of course, you want a co-op feature in there, and you maybe implement the Titans things in there, because Titanfall was a really fun game for a short bit, but Titanfall, like as itself, by itself as its own game, is not exactly the greatest thing in the world because there wasn't a whole lot of depth to it. But if you were to have a Titanfall style of game and make it a side game within another game, then I think it could work out pretty well. Make a Titanfall style thing where it's kind of like a horde mode, surviving waves of enemies. Maybe give you some objectives similar to what they do in Extinction. Maybe do something like that, but make it so you can, you know, call in like little Titan suits or do things like that. I'm just thinking out loud. Some people might like that idea. Some people might hate it. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud. I have no idea what they're going to do. But I honestly think if I had to guess, I think Sledgehammer would probably go with like a generic kind of Spec Ops game. That's just what I picture them doing. I don't know what they're going to do, though. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, you said last week that your mom enjoyed the Food Network as well as crime shows, and I, myself, also enjoy those shows. Anyways, my question to you is, what are your favorite TV shows? Sincerely, Jacob from North Bay, Canada. So Jacob, what are my favorite TV shows? So truth be told, Jacob, I don't watch TV really. I really don't. I watch The Walking Dead every Sunday when it's actually out, but right now they're in between seasons. And so I haven't watched TV since the last episode of The Walking Dead was on. That was the last time I watched TV. I used to watch Netflix a bit, and I used to watch TV. Like growing up, TV was like my thing, man. I'd play my Pokemon games, and I'd play my Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and I would watch Nickelodeon. Like Nickelodeon was like my childhood, so I watched a lot of TV like growing up. Then once I kind of like started hanging like teenager, I started playing video games more than watching TV. But the TV shows I still like to watch. Like if I were at someone's house and they turned on the TV, these are the shows I'd like to see. I like King of the Hill. I love that show. It's fantastic. I like Family Guy, South Park, American Dad, Cleveland Show. Basically anime, like kind of like animated shows that are, I don't know, with a bit more of adult humor to them. It's not like they're kids' cartoons, so they're all animated, like, The Simpsons, King of the Hill, Family Guy, South Park, all stuff like that. I love those shows, basically comedy-based stuff. Not really into dramas, not really into things like that. I do like The Walking Dead, though. So basically, outside of, like, your typical animation domination style stuff, I like The Walking Dead. So those are basically the shows I like to watch. But like I said, I don't watch a whole lot of television. Like, I turn on ESPN when I go to sleep, but the TV's so low I can't even hear it. It's just, like, background light while I'm trying to fall asleep, so I don't really watch a lot of TV. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, have you been trying to fix your sleep schedule, or are you just going with it? William from Michigan. So William, my sleep schedule has been awful, just completely awful lately, and I accredit it to being a YouTuber. I really do, man. So if you're a YouTuber, and you do this kind of like full time, like this is what you do. You're a YouTuber. You've grown your channel a bit, and you make videos all the time. I mean, hell, I have over 1,000 videos here on my channel. It kind of consumes you a bit. And when all you do is, you play video games and you're on YouTube, you're talking to people and you're replying to comments and you're playing video games and, I'm here all the time and, like, your brain just never wants to shut off. I feel as though a lot of YouTubers actually have this issue. It's like, your brain just doesn't want to shut down. And it's really hard to maintain a sleep schedule. It really is. Because what we do, while it can be mentally exhausting, it's not physically demanding in the slightest. It really isn't. I am the skinniest, boniest looking person you will ever meet. I get no physical activity because I play so much video games. That's like what I do. And so it's not like I get tired from, working a normal job. I don't get tired like that. And so for me, maintaining a sleep schedule is ridiculous. This reminds me of what Woody's Gamertag said in a recent video of his. When you're a YouTuber, you're not working for somebody else. You're working for yourself, right? And so if you want to make anything happen, you need to do it yourself. It's not like you can just go into your job like a typical 9 to 5. I clock in at 9 o'clock, I clock out at 5 o'clock, and work starts, work ends. That's it. When you're a YouTuber, every second of every day could possibly be work if you decide to make it that. And so I'm always playing video games. I'm always recording stuff. I'm always, making videos and editing videos and coming up with video ideas and writing scripts. And I do actually write scripts for certain videos. You guys may not know which ones, but I do write scripts for certain videos. You do a lot of things, and your brain just kind of doesn't want to shut down. It's really hard to maintain a sleep schedule because you make your own schedule. It's not like I have to be up at 9 o'clock for work tomorrow. I just know, hey, tomorrow's Friday. I can make a video whenever. The only set schedule I have is I need to do Dear Nero on Wednesday, which I couldn't do yesterday, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and Chem Strike Saturday on Saturday. Other than that, I make my own schedule, and when you make your own schedule, you end up staying up till 5 o'clock in the morning playing Other Schools Online like I do, which is a really fun game, by the way. You guys should really try that game out. Just try it. It's so fun. So much fun. Next and final question. He's going to write, and this is actually a fun one because sent in by the same guy that did this last time, Viper from Pennsylvania. It is going to be some rapid fire questions where I just answer them really quickly while I answer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different questions. So let's hop into this. Who is your least favorite Pokemon and why? I would say my least favorite Pokemon would definitely be Jinx. It's look at it. It's weird. I don't know why people like Jinx. Another Pokemon I never really liked for it, and I can never understand the appeal of, is Mr. Mime. It's a weird looking, goofy little thing. I don't like either one of them. I never have, and I don't think I ever will. Who's your favorite shiny Pokemon? If I had to guess, my favorite shiny Pokemon would probably be shiny Nidoking, because Nidoking is purple and Nidoqueen is blue, but a shiny Nidoking is blue, kind of like Nidoqueen, and it's really cool looking. I don't really know. It's kind of like, I don't know what the shiny sprites on all the different Pokemon look like, but I do know what a shiny Nidoking looks like, and my first and only shiny Pokemon ever, if you're wondering about that, was actually a Tyrogue, which is the baby version of a Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, and a Hitmontop. I got that on my Nintendo 3DS playing on Pokemon X. That was my first shiny ever, and it was kind of cool. What shoe size do you wear? I wear a size 12. Size 12. Do you hate the rain? I don't hate the rain. I actually love the rain. Rain is awesome. I love the smell if you go outside, like, right after it's rained, like, especially, like, during the spring. Oh, that's an amazing smell. You guys know what smell I'm talking about? I want to know in the comments. You guys know that smell, because that smell is freaking amazing. Summer, fall, winter, or spring, and why? I would say my favorite would probably be fall, because summer, while a lot of people like summer, it's like hot and humid in the summer. I don't like that at all. Winter is really pretty, but it's also really cold, and I have to like brush off my car all the time. That's not very fun at all. Spring is pretty nice, although this spring has been humid. Like, pretty freaking humid. So I'm going to say fall, because fall is kind of like, you know, between 50, it can go anywhere from 50 to 70 degrees where I live. It's pretty nice. You got the foliage, you got all the leaves falling and stuff. You got Halloween, of course, and football season coming up, and the new Call of Duty coming out, and the rest of the games that come out in November. It's a pretty good time of year, so I'd say fall is probably my favorite season. What's your favorite soda and or juice? Well, my favorite soda is probably Coca-Cola, and if I had to pick like a specific kind, like Coke Cherry is really good, Coke Vanilla is very good, and juice, orange juice? I don't drink a lot of juice. Why do you like the Browns so much? Because everyone in my town is a Steelers fan, and I despise the Steelers. Why do you hate the Steelers so much? Because everyone in my town is a Steelers fan, and I despise the Steelers for that reason. Why is your Golden Ripper Double Chem Strike already at over 400,000 views? That video just kind of blew up. Yeah, it did. It really did seem to blow up, and I have no real idea why. It's a pretty good video. Definitely an awesome gameplay sent in by a guy named Kando, and it's a really awesome video. If you guys haven't seen it, you guys should check that out. And that is all 9 questions. I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that's all 9 questions. And thank you, Viper of Pennsylvania, for sending that in. I've already started to brainstorm a little bit for the 100th episode of Dear Nero, and I think we're going to do questions like that for like the 100th episode, which is many weeks away. Like, probably a couple months away, actually. From the 100th episode of Dear Nero. But I think for the 100th episode of Dear Nero, I should do 100 questions like this, kind of like rapid fire, you know, answer 100 of them. And I think it'd be a fun episode. I'm looking forward to that. I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode of Dear Nero. And if you did, please be sure to leave a rating where you guys feel the video deserves. And if you guys like to send in your guys' questions for next week's episode of Dear Nero, simply send me a personal message here on YouTube. Make the title message Dear Nero if it's a good question, an entertaining question, and above all, a question I've not answered before. I will do my best to go ahead and answer it. So I do hope you guys enjoy the video, though. And remember to rate the video where you guys feel it deserves. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.